You don't get paid a penny for this.
Not a penny. Not a penny. It's the purest form of baseball. You know, it's not about, you know, it's not a job at this point. I think even when you get to the high school level, you have a career in mind when you get there. You're thinking, you know, what can I do to impress somebody enough to get me first a college scholarship, or, you know, get drafted, and then, you know, can I make it in the big leagues? Little League is, you're not to that point yet. You're out here playing because you want to play and you want to have fun and you want to learn the game. Right, absolutely.
I mean, why?
Well, it's because that's their job. I mean, they have a lot of pressure on them to perform. You know, if not, they'll be released or whatever. You know, where my kids are just out there having the time of their life. I mean, they want to get to that level, but right now they just want to have fun and get better. Well, you know, it's just what I like to do. It's my passion. I have a passion for it. You know, and really, we try to teach our kids not only the game of baseball, but about life in general. About, you know, I'm trying to get these kids ready for the next level. You know, as far as playing wise and, you know, just everyday life. I mean, when they get to the next level, and, you know, I feel like if I can make a difference in just one of these kids' life, then hey, my job's done. I'm satisfied. It's not about winning and losing. I mean, you know, nobody could ever label me as a win-it-all type coach at all costs. I don't believe in that. I would never jeopardize a kid's health to win a baseball game or anything else. This is all fun stuff.
You've been to the state tournament how many times?
9 or 10 years, you know.
Out of 50?
Out of the 6, yeah, maybe even a little bit more. I don't really keep track.
How many times have you won a state and been to the regional?
Well, 4 times that I've been to the regional. So.
And you've been to the Little League World Series?
Right.
Twice.
Right. And I go back to what I said earlier. You know, we work our kids hard, and we you know, we try to teach them the fundamentals of the game, and you know, I surround myself with good coaches. You know, that's the first smart thing a manager can do is have good coaches, and I've always had good coaches, so that helps.
Is the fact that all the Little League World Series games and most of the regional games are now televised, is that good or bad?
That's awesome. I think it's great. You know, I get asked a lot about, is it too much pressure for these kids? And my answer is absolutely not. After the first 5 minutes, they don't even realize they're on TV. They're out there playing their hearts out and having fun and, you know, just doing what they do. Well, I have talked to parents before, absolutely. You know, and when I call it put too much pressure on them, and they're not going to perform as good. You know, if I'm sitting there getting on to them for not doing good, and their parents are riding them about not doing good, so it's just going to make things worse. So I try to, you know, ask our parents to let us do the coaching with their kids. And I know when they get home and all that, they're going to get taught, and that's just natural. But you know, we try to let, you know, make parents understand that we need it. Let us coach them. Playing other sports, less throws, you know, in a year's time. You know, now travel ball is so big, you know, and Little League, and nowadays you have kids trying to do both, and it's just too much. Especially if you're going to pitch both. No, they don't get to play travel ball when they play All Stars. They have to give that up.
So they're off the travel ball teams and they're yours.
Right, that's correct.
But during regular season, they can play travel ball.
Well, my kids normally do not play. We ask them not to play even during regular season. Now, I know some of the other teams, they do both, but like we just talked about, health-wise, that is not good. I think the pitch count in Little League is one of the best things they've ever done, and it's made managing a whole lot harder, but I think it's one of the best things that they've ever done is put a pitch count and limit these kids to how many pitches they can throw.
Do you think if Tim Hudson was coming up today, he already would have been pitching for 4 years?
At least. I think he would be retired by now. There's no doubt in my mind that Timmy would not still be pitching had he been pitching since he was, you know, 7 or 8 years old. I think your arm's just like anything else in your body. Your arm's got so many throws in it, and when it's done, it's done. Well, you know, especially around here, and these kids, you know, they're going the Columbus Highs and the Shaws and the North Sides and Brookstones. It's very competitive. So what these parents are trying to do is give their kid every advantage they can to have the upper hand, to get that playing time. There's no doubt. And I think that that's one reason that some of the high school football programs are not as successful, because some of the better athletes don't want to get behind in baseball. If they're out there playing football, somebody else is practicing baseball, working out in baseball, and I just don't think they want to get behind. Yeah, I think it's just too. I think it's just too much on them. I mean, they don't realize it, and I don't think the parents realize it. But I think that these kids need to venture out and do other things and play other sports. And I have a lot of parents that will ask me, "Hey, what would you like for my kid to do in the off season?" I'm like, my first thing is let them play football.
Do they look at you like you're crazy?
Some of them do, yeah. Some of them do, but I think football makes you mentally tough, and I think football helps your baseball. Almost every day. I mean, something will pop in my mind about that season, how special it was.
When did you realize you had the best team in all of Little League baseball?
When we beat that Japan team. I had no idea that we could even compete with them. And my guys just stepped up to the plate and accepted the challenge, and I was floored. Chuck, I think so. I mean, I can't even fathom winning the World Series 2 times in a coaching career. I told people after that season, and to me, it was almost like hitting the lottery. I mean, everything, all the stars have to line up. You got to have luck. It's just so much into even getting to that place, much less winning it.
This will be the first year she hasn't been.
Yeah, this is I've thought about that, and it's very emotional for me. Me and my mom are very close, and she, I don't think that she's ever missed a tournament of mine.
From city championship to state.
That's correct.
She was always in the stands.
Always there. Always my #1 fan.
Did you kind of look for her last week?
I knew she was with me. I was telling my dad and my family that when we were down, and that could have been the last game if Peace would have won, and we were down 1, and I walked into third base. I kind of looked up and said, "Okay, Mom, I need a little help."